unconditional love, the love of God operating through the human heart, according to Martin Luther King Jr. For me, love is the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness. So when I look at you and I say I love you, I'm aware and I accept that you're unique and whole and perfect just as you are. I do that with myself as well. I do that with life. And in doing that, guess what? We've eliminated judgment. What is judgment? Judgment is the opposite of love. And so with that in mind, at Agape, we teach how to better self-love through conscious living. We teach meditation. We teach the science of mind. We teach that the power to create our lives exists right where we are within us right now. And we are always at power to choose, through our thoughts, the experience of our life. It's our journey of unfoldment. And when we do this, we become self-realized. And today, that's what we'll be talking about in a little bit, how to become self-realized. So before we do that, I'd like to start off with a little meditation. So I invite you to come into a comfortable, seated, upright position with your back straight, your hands gently resting on your lap. Close your eyes, and I want you to visualize that right above the top of your head is the infinite heart of the divine. And this heart is radiating a beautiful green light, the color of the heart chakra. And that light, when you're breathing in, you are absorbing it through the top of your head, through your third eye, down through your throat, and into your heart. And then on the exhale, I want you to visualize you sending that green light, that energy, into every cell, the space between the cells, and out of your body in all directions, creating an energy field that surrounds you, that you are a part of. Love heals all. So together, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Visualize breathing in that green energy all the way down your chakras into your heart. Now breathe it out from your heart into every cell, the space between the cells, and surrounding you. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. In this field of love, knowing that love is everywhere present, that love has no limitations, that love is always expanding, ask your heart, how can I express more love in my life today? What must I become to be a greater conduit to express and experience more love? Just continue to breathe in and out of your heart and listen to the wisdom as it guides you. It will take you one step closer. And that's all you're looking for, is what is that next step? And know that once you get that and you ask again, you'll get the next step and the next step. Because you understand that life is a journey of thought. One thought followed by another. The more expansive the thought, the more expansive the journey. Notice how just simply breathing into your heart and then out from your heart, you feel a sense of well-being moving into your body, into your mind, into the energy that surrounds you. You are literally basking in a cocoon of love. And this cocoon of love is birthing you, the most perfect butterfly So begin to fill your heart with gratitude. Gratitude to uncover this truth that exists within you. Gratitude for the tool of this visualization. Gratitude for being alive. And now in gratitude, start to bring your awareness back to this time, to this place, to this day, to this body. Gently now begin to move your hands, your fingers. And when you're ready, open your eyes, put a smile on your face, and feel love surrounding, nourishing, and supporting you. So today, I chose the topic of how to become more self-realized. I think we hear about this all the time from Indian mystics, from Western mystics. It's self-realization is what it's all about. That's what Paramahansa Yogananda taught, self-realization. So let's look at that together. Self-realization is not something we achieve or a destination we arrive at. It is an ongoing journey and process of continually growing one's level of awareness and self-discovery. Awareness of what? Awareness that you're more than your body. Awareness that you're more than your mind. You're becoming aware that you're a part of the infinite. You're becoming aware that you're unique. You're becoming aware that your greatest power is your ability to think. You're becoming aware that through the process of self-discovery, you realize that your thought atmosphere, the majority of what you think about, becomes the demonstration in your life. Self-realization is a way of life. It is not a destination. In fact, self-realization is a path where you recognize your true nature and become your authentic self. This journey transcends the ego and brings with it a deep understanding to your connection with life. You see, your ego believes that it is your mind and your body. Your ego is that which believes it needs to be right. Your authentic self is infinite. It is all-knowing, it is all-powerful, it has always been, it always will be. That's from the spiritual side. From the human side, you have a DNA that's different than any other human being that's ever lived. There's a DNA within you that desires to grow. You see, I truly believe that we are continually evolving from one life to another. What dimension are we in the next life or the prior life? I don't know. But what I do know is that we're continually evolving. And whatever level of awareness I believe we achieve in this life, whatever the next life we get into, whatever dimension that might be, whatever it might be looking at, we start at the level of awareness we are here. And life becomes a continued unfoldment of our ability to expand and grow and realize our truth. You see, self-realization is an inner journey that must be done, but every individual does it in their own way. They do it alone, but they can be supported by others. I know for me that my journey of self-realization is within me, and there are people who support me. I know that my wife's journey is independent of me, but I can support her. Same thing with my sons, my granddaughter, my friends, my community. It's an inner journey that must be done. And every individual is going to do it in a unique way. Especially the hard one is when you want your children to benefit from the way you've done it. You got to let that go. They're going to find their own way. They're going to become self-realized through their life process, not through yours. To do this self-realization, we must learn to go beyond the ego. Self-realization means to go beyond your ego, which is beyond the identity that you've adopted as a result of social conditioning, experiences, and other conditioning. It is discovering your unchanging core essence. It is the realization that you are so much more than your mind and your body. From the moment you were born, your mom and dad told you what was good, what was bad. Your mom and dad were telling you who to be, what to be, how to be. School comes in, does the same thing. Churches do the same thing. Corporations do the same thing. Social friendships do the same thing. So they're giving you this ego, this persona, and that's okay. But you have to realize it's not the essence of who you are. It's not the master of who you are. You have an unchanging core essence. I refer to it as the soul. It's the point of consciousness that is unique, but yet is the point of consciousness that is connected to the infinite consciousness. And you realize that when you're this consciousness, you're free. You can do anything you make your mind up on. And so once we go beyond the ego, we develop a sense of oneness. Self-realization is a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all life, where you see yourself as a part of the whole. It is here that you develop a deep sense of empathy and love for all of life. Because when you truly do know your oneness, there's no longer anything to judge yourself against, because you realize you're a part of the whole. As a part of the whole, you realize there's nothing more you need to become. And life is the journey about realizing your wholeness, your oneness. And you develop this love of life, because life is about expansion. It is about joyful expansion. It is your divine nature. And there is no greater joy in the world than to be at oneness. In light of this, of being able to go beyond the ego, to develop a sense of oneness, we can now begin to live authentically. Self-realization is when we determine what our top values are in human form, and we align ourselves to them, and we create a life that brings us a deep sense of fulfillment. This is a life where you give up society standards and you follow your own inner guidance and intuition. See, I know that in my human form, my higher values have changed. But right now, my top values from 1 to 6 are to become more aware, to teach, to connect with all of life, to have personal health and well-being, to be financially free to do what I want, when I want, how I want, and to travel and experience other cultures and spirituality. Those are the 6 things that are the most important to me. I make all of my decisions on the basis, what I'm about to choose, does it support my highest values? If it doesn't support my highest values, I wouldn't be living authentically. My father wanted me to live differently than this. My mother wanted me to live differently than this. I have friends that wanted me to live differently than this. I chose to say no to them. And when I'm saying no to them, I'm saying yes to Lee being authentic. Know that if you've been following me, I'm a rebel. I've always been a rebel since the time I was 5. And I'm grateful for that, because I am seeking out authentic living. I am seeking out expansion. I'm seeking out beyond the known, because until you go beyond the known, you're not going to have a new experience. You're stuck in a path with no end until you put new information in your mind. So let's talk about the path of self-realization. There are steps that we can take. The first step is to meditate. Why? To quiet your mind so that it stops the continual loop of thoughts that you're thinking over and over and over again. And when you slow your mind down, you're able to implant new thoughts, also to hear new thoughts. It's also about the practice of mindfulness. To be mindful that with every bite of food you're taking in life. You're taking life that was created either out of an animal, a plant, the farmers who raised it, the soil, the rain, the sunshine, the nutrients. You're mindful that when you're eating, you're literally absorbing all of those things, and your mind and your body turn them into your body. Mindfulness you can use when you're eating, when you're drinking water, when you're walking, when you're talking, when you're just resting, when you're playing games. Mindfulness can be used in any aspect of life. Next, self-reflection and inquiry. Always questioning everything. Is this the real me? What would the real me want to experience next? Do I really have limitations? Am I as expansive as I'm being told I am? Have I tried all these tools? Self-reflect on what gives you joy and what doesn't give you joy. Most of the time we just accept we're a victim. No, we're not a victim. We're thinking thoughts that are making us have the appearance that we're a victim, and we can choose to change that. The next part of the path is the inner work to release the past. A lot of people call this forgiveness. I call this seeing that your life is in balance. So when something bad happens to you, you break your hip, you have a hip replacement, what good came from it? And you list all the good until you see that breaking your hip was not a bad thing. It was just an experience. There was as much good as bad. And when you come to that point where you neutralize something from the past, you're free of it. And you've realized you're better than the past. You're beyond it. The next step is to continue eternally seeking wisdom, seeking new information, because without new information, no growth can happen. If you're thinking the same thoughts over and over again, you're just going to be creating the same experiences, maybe in a different order, but it's the same experiences. But once you interject new information and you start thinking thoughts in alignment with that, new experiences will be coming into your life, and you'll be creating them, and you'll be aware of them because you're being mindful. And last, it's about living in a state of continual gratitude, realizing that everything that has happened in your life, you've created. Everything that's happened into your life and you've experienced, you've been mindful enough to experience. And when you're in a state of gratitude, it's very empowering, because you're not looking at what you lack. You're looking at what you've done, who you are, and that is a powerful way to live. Self-realization, it's not an easy path, as it goes against the trends of society, as you face your shadow self and deal with the resistance of your own ego that wants to fill it. Your ego always wants to be right. It always wants to be comfortable. Your spiritual self wants to dance and play in the unknown. It wants to release the past. It wants to be free. Your true nature is one of freedom. Your true nature is one of infinite wisdom. The realization of that is true self-realization. The rewards for the journey of self-realization include liberation from suffering, the development of a deep sense of inner peace, and the realization of your unlimited power to create the life of your choosing without a sense of attachment. Because when you become self-realized, you're not attached to things, events, people, experiences, because you're aware you're a creator and you can recreate them anytime you choose. Because if you've done it once, you can do it again. And when you discover that, you'll never want to recreate the same thing over and over again. You'll want to create it even greater, because there are no limitations to life. Self-realizations, my beautiful friends, is the eternal journey to discover and experience your eternal nature. We'll be doing this for eternity. Why not get focused and take it as far as you can right now, so that when you go to the next step, guess what? You'll be starting from where you left off here. That's my belief. I believe that self-realization is the purpose of everyone's life. How we do that will be unique, and we get to choose. I invite you, surround yourself with people, with information that is about empowerment and expansion. You were born to do that, and only that. Remember, it's a journey. Enjoy every moment. I want to thank you for listening to this message. If this message truly resonated with you, do me a favor and share it. Share it with others so that they can understand at a deeper level. Share it with your loved ones so that you can talk about a message like this. And you can find ways to plug in with Agape. Just go to the agapespiritualcenter.com website. Go to the calendar and see all the different ways: meditation, gathering, talks, all sorts of things, classes, workshops. You can plug in wherever you are in the world. We're available to you. Also, if you would like to support this work, know that you giving a financial donation is opening you up to receiving even more, because the universe knows that you give equal to what you receive. And if you give, realize there'll never be a void. The universe always brings it back. With that, my friends, test what I say. Don't believe me. Test it for yourself. And when you do, you become the owner. In fact, you become self-realized. Until next week, much love.